Hey, everybody. Welcome into STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours, and you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I'm Eric Sontag, and I'm joined by Shawn Surwillo and Tito Ulrich. We are recording the show on Thursday night, June 10th, so we'll be previewing this weekend series with the Cardinals and Braves starting on Friday at Busch. St. Louis City SC back home this weekend, and they are a favorite against the Portland Timbers on Sunday. We will talk plenty about that and our home team coverage, brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Also, Domesticated Gamblers is going to be your home for football betting talk all season long here on STL Sports Central, and it starts tonight. We have a plan. It's a plan we have all set up for you guys to talk gambling on football with different topics every single week up until the season starts. We actually have NFL camps opening up this coming week. So next week on the show, we're going to talk about season-long player props we like for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. But for tonight, we know there is a demand here in St. Louis for coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs, and we are going to provide that for you tonight to Tito's dismay. We're going to talk their season win total. We're going to talk odds in the division, the AFC, odds for the Super Bowl for the Chiefs. And we're going to take a look at some of their player props for Chiefs players you can bet right now on DraftKings. Shawn, I know you've been waiting for this, brother. The NFL is your specialty as a gambler. So, man, like, how pumped are you to start talking some football here on the show?
Well, I'm got the apparel on. I'm a Packers fan, so I'm definitely pumped up. Tito, we just had 4th of July. You know what Mr. Sharp does after 4th of July?
What do you do, Mr. Sharp?
We start diving into NFL talk, and we start looking at offensive lines. Tito, that is how we win football games. So there's going to be more on the offensive line with the Kansas City Chiefs. Little spoiler there, so keep watching. I think that's going to be big part of their success this year is their offensive line. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Eric, I'm just so pumped up for football. I cannot wait. I'm excited for the Packers. I'm excited for the NFL season, and I'm excited to coach my son's 4th grade team this year as well.
Absolutely, man. And if anybody of you guys watching, if you've seen us for any period of time, like one of our pillars, at least for me, I'm very big on this being honest and transparent in everything that we do. None of us on the show are Chiefs fans. I want to be super upfront about that. Shawn just mentioned he's a Packers fan. So our opinions, they're not coming from a homer perspective. In fact, I would say for Tito, it's coming from for the exact opposite perspective. Tito, you just want to give the people just a little taste of your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, 2 words that the kind of wet my beak. Mahomes fraud. That's enough to say for right now. Let's get into the Cardinals, and I got plenty to say about that fraud later on in the show.
I cannot wait for this. All right, so a lot more to come on the Chiefs later in the show. We'll also have our best bets brought to you by Pretzel Boys. Again, this is a chance for you to get involved in best bets and win a prize. So all you got to do as the viewer, just drop us a comment on this video with your best bet for the weekend. It could be any play from across the world of sports. A lot to choose from this weekend, actually. If you're the first person to comment and your bet hits, you win a $20 gift card from Pretzel Boys. And then if the first person loses their bet, obviously the second commenter will win the gift card if they hit their best bet, and so on and so forth. It's been good to see some different viewers cashing in with some sharp plays here. We had a soccer play that was our winner last week. I love to see that. So again, leave us a comment on this video with your best bet for the weekend for a chance to win a $20.
Who ended up winning last week?
I think it was the username was Pack Pugs or something like that.
Pack
I don't know.
Pugs.
Maybe he's
All
a
right,
Packers
Pack
fan.
Pugs.
I don't know. But yeah, so he won a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. I think we've had 3 different winners so far. And Pretzel Boys, there's a location near you. They got 5 of them across the area. So check them out at stlpretzelboys.com. Also, a reminder, you can email us anytime, anything you want to talk about. We're happy to read it and discuss here on the show. Send it to Tito, Domesticated Gamblers at gmail.com. You might have some people fired up with your Chiefs takes tonight, Tito. We're going to have to see about that.
We also we got to figure out who this Tim fellow is. He's a burner account. I don't know. He says everyone's Gators or something. So we're hoping this guy wins so Tito can get his real address. There's all kinds of stuff going on about the show that we don't talk about. We got to talk about it on live, not live, but we're recording.
Yeah. I think Tim Yaz probably our most loyal since we've been doing the show, and this man is a man of mystery. So keep bringing in those best bets in, Tim Yan. For everyone watching, please do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel, and Domesticated Gamblers is also available on podcast on Apple and Spotify. So let's get going with our home team coverage, and it is brought to you by James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. He is my insurance agent. He's now Tito's insurance agent, and he's the agent for plenty of other satisfied customers. How about 435 5-star reviews on Google? James Carlton and his team are the real deal when it comes to saving you money. I'm saving over $800 this year because I made the switch. They are also truly there for you every step of the way when you need them, and I think this review really sums it up. I've shortened it up for time purposes, but here's a good chunk of it. It reads, I've been a client of James Carlton for over 10 years. I've had only professional and positive experiences with James and the team. They are very knowledgeable when answering our questions. I definitely appreciate the fact that when I call the office, an actual person will pick up the phone, answer my questions, or give a message to the person I need to speak with. I also recently had to file a claim, and Stephanie was the person I communicated with. Her customer service is remarkable. She thoroughly explained the process I had to go through step by step. Then a few weeks ago, I wanted more clarity about a separate claim, so I called and talked with James. He explained in depth the entire process, and when I got off the phone, all of my questions were answered. I would recommend James Carlton to anyone who is looking for a reliable, trustworthy, patient, caring group of team members who definitely have their customers' best interests at heart. How about that, man? How about that review from someone taking the time to write all that? So I don't know what else I need to say. Get the quote today. Go to carltoninsurance.net, and when you get a quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or STL Sports Central, and they'll donate to Mizzou's NIL fund on your behalf. Call 314-961-4800 or go to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And guys, let's get started with the Cardinals. They do end up taking 2 of 3 from Washington, so I will take that. The Redbirds still in third place in the Central, 5.5 games behind the Cubs. And as we record this on Thursday night, they trailed the Giants by just 1 game for the final wildcard spot. So they are right in this thing. And the Cardinals open up a 3-game series on Friday at Busch against the Braves. It's going to be Matthew Liberatore up against Grant Holmes. Then on Saturday, guys, it is confirmed Eric Fetty gets another start, as a Cardinals fan just all throw up in their mouths just thinking about that game on Saturday. Well, Tito, you don't agree with that? You got a good feeling about Fetty?
I got some stats as to why I think the Cardinals might have started Fetty on Saturday. I got some stats to give to the viewers here in a few moments, but
all right.
I think I can convince you guys otherwise.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this. And then, hey, what do you know for Sunday? Hey, it is possible to move Sonny Gray around. They can't figure out a way for him to pitch any of the 7 games against the Cubs, but they move him up this week so we can start 2 games, including the final game on Sunday before the All-Star break. See Sonny Gray pitch twice this week, even though we don't get to see him against the Cubs. And as we are recording this, we don't know who is starting for the Braves on Saturday and Sunday. As of yet, their rotation has just gotten destroyed by injuries this season and as of late as well. So boo-hoo for the Braves. But for Friday, it's Liberatore against Holmes. Cardinals are a slight favorite at -121. The Braves are the +101 underdog, and the total is set at 8. We also have odds on DraftKings for who wins the series, and the Cardinals are a -135 favorite. Braves are a +105 dog. So Tito, tease us a little bit more with those stats. I'm going to go to Shawn first while you kind of think that over. So Mr. Sharp, give me your thoughts on the Redbirds and this weekend series with the Braves.
Yeah, Braves, like you mentioned, the rotation's really falling apart. So this team had playoff aspirations. It doesn't look like they're going to get this thing home. I wouldn't be surprised if they sell off a few pieces. They'll keep their core around, but I can see the Braves selling off. And also, for this series, I think it's good for us. The Braves lineup's not really what it's been in years past for some reason. Even with Acuna, Olsen, and you got third baseman Riley, it's still just it's kind of a mediocre lineup this year. So I think Cardinals are getting them at a good time. The Braves are traveling from Sacramento, so I definitely like the Cardinals at the price here a lot. This is something I'm going to be playing. I'm going to put this in pocket, Tito, as we like to say. We're going to have the Cardinals in pocket. I think Libby holds his own tomorrow night, and I like him in the series. I don't even mind that price at all. I definitely think the Braves will be a little flat after coming out of Sacramento. Got a 7:15 game. They're playing still right now, I believe. So,
Yep.
They're going to be getting into town late. So definitely, we might be looking at a 4 or 5 unit play. Long term after the break, we got to figure something out with Fetty. Michaelis can do his thing. He's a little more veteran than Fetty. I feel like he's got, he's been around a little bit longer. He can settle down. Washington lineup that overswings a little bit. He kind of controlled him tonight, 5 2/3 or whatever he got. He did Michaelis things, right? And that's going to happen. But we kind of know what he is. The Fetty thing, they got to figure this out. I mean, Tito, you might have some stats, but Fetty's, he's close to being DFA'd, in my opinion. You've just seen the Yankees DFA LeMahieu. I know Arizona DFA'd Madison Bumgarner. So if you can DFA that guy, you can DFA Eric Fetty. I think his time's over. So I don't like to see Fetty starting, but hopefully we get to start seeing McGreevy after the second half. And maybe a little piggyback situation if they want to keep Fetty around. So long term, I still think we're what me and you've said all year, Eric, 83 to 86 wins. If we make some help to the rotation or a young guy comes out of the minors and can give us some quality innings, you could see us win 90 games if we got hot, But I still, 83 to 86, feel pretty good about that.
Sounds about right. All right, Tito, give us your pitch. I can't wait to hear it. What's going on this weekend? What do you got?
Well, I'm excited about this weekend. I'm excited that the Cardinals were able to take 2 out of 3 against the damn Nationals, the Natitude. So I'm excited. I think they're hanging around, Teddy KGB style, hanging around. They get in. You never know what's going to happen in October, Daddy. We still have that hope of playing the Dodgers and that fraud Clayton Kershaw. But I'll tell you right now, okay? So everyone's fired up over Saturday after Mozeliak or Ali came out and said, "Oh, Fetty's started on Saturday." Okay, so I did some research and I got these stats. Okay, I really think that you guys are going to understand the logic as to why they're starting Fetty. Okay, Fetty is guess what he is against the Braves career wise. He's 0-6. Sorry. His ERA 9.9. 9.98. Maybe that's not okay. Okay, well, hold on. I got some stats for Saturday. Saturday starts his career. He's 3-12. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, what are we talking about here? Eric damn Fetty? This guy's a complete fraud. Why isn't Michael McGreevy up here yet, Mo? I mean, what are we doing? You're a game out of the wild card, and you can't have the decency to call this guy up to have him start against a lousy Braves bunch that's 9.5 games out of the wild card. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing, Eric. So I'm all fired up. I think the Cardinals have a legitimate chance to make the postseason if Mozeliak actually did some research that Tito just did and realized that Eric Fetty's not the answer. So I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Oh my God, the bait and switch. It's fantastic. You got me. Hook, line, and sinker.
Well done.
You were correct too. As you were ranting, I looked it up. 11 games, 10 starts against the Braves. Fetty's 0-6 with a 9.98 ERA and a 2.13 whip. My God. I'm guessing they're doing this because it's right before the All-Star break. They don't want to make a big change, maybe. I think they're probably also trying to potentially showcase him for the trade deadline. But, this is one game. We have a season-long sample size here to show what this guy has been. So Tito, not bullish on the Redbirds on Saturday. It sounds like. Do you have thoughts on tomorrow with Libby against Holmes? I know Libby's been your guy. You and me in particular have really fallen in love with this guy, and Sean's the one that has him in fantasy baseball, but you've been looking to sell him off, I think. But Tito, what do you
innings limit? Innings limit. I'm worried about those innings.
potentially? So Tito, what do you think about the game on Friday?
Yeah, no, I thought Libby play. Didn't Libby pitch on Saturday against the Cubs? Isn't that when he last pitched?
He did. Yeah.
I mean, he pitched fine. They got the win.
Yeah.
So I'm totally bullish on Libby tomorrow night. I think he's been a diamond in the rough. I think they're doing exactly what they need to do, and he's reaching that innings limit that he's never pitched more than the number of innings he's pitched. I think it's going to be on tomorrow night's when he's going to reach that limit or that reach his career high. But against the Braves that don't have a good stout lineup, like Shawn had mentioned before. I mean, you got Acuna, but Albies is not who he was, and Riley hasn't been the player that he's been in the past. So I think we're getting him at a really, really opportune time. And so I expect Libby to pitch really well tomorrow night, and then I expect them to get the win on Sunday. So I'm totally bullish. And if you get 2 out of 3 here, you hang around, you take some time off at the All-Star break, and you regroup and you see where you are after the All-Star game. So I'm excited about the game. I think they're ripe for just hanging around. So that's what.
And when you look at the schedule after the second half here, boys, we get Atlanta. I think you're right. We could take 2 out of 3. And we go to Arizona, a team that's probably going to sell at the deadline. Sounds like they're going to move Suarez. They're going to move some pieces. They had a bunch of injuries in the rotation. So I think you can get an Arizona club. You can win 2 out of 3. And then you're going to Colorado. You need to sweep Colorado. You get San Diego back at home. I like that. Maybe if you split there, that's fine. Take, 2 games apiece. And then you get Miami coming home. So there's a chance here to make up some ground at the end of July. August is going to be tough. You go to San Diego, you go to the Dodgers, then you get the Cubs. That's a tough stretch for any team. And then you also have the Yankees in there and the Rays. Tough stuff. So we got to make up some ground in July and then, see what Mo does at the deadline.
Yeah, it's a great point looking at the schedule because that's the easier part is before the deadline. So this is the time to make some hay, and then you fortify your roster potentially, and then you take a shot at those really good teams in August. I hadn't realized how bad the Braves offense had been. It's great points you guys bring up. Heading into tonight's action on Thursday, the Braves are 23rd in MLB in runs per game, 4.03 runs per game. So it has just been a nightmare season for them. I think I agree with you guys. You just really got to like the Cardinals' chances on Friday and Sunday with Liberatore and Gray. I just think Libby is back. I understand that, worries about later in the season about if he tails off because of fatigue. But for right now, he had really 3 outstanding starts in a row after he got over that bad stretch. And then, I thought he did a good job against the Cubs last weekend. It was just 5 innings with 2 runs allowed. But if you remember, that was the day where the wind was just like howling to blowing out big time. And Liberatore held them down. Cardinals ended up winning the game. So just like he and Sonny Gray are just totally in my circle of trust. And just anytime Gray pitches at home, it's like it's automatic. He has a good start. I looked this up since he became a Cardinal. He's made 27 starts at Busch Stadium. Gray is 15-6 with an ERA of 2.80 and a WHIP of 1.06.
Yeah, Busch Stadium's a perfect park for him to pitch in. Strikeout guy doesn't, he gives up some fly balls, but the exit velo is not too terrible against him. So great park for him. And earlier we were text messaging about that. Mid pitchers can be pretty good in our park. Guys that in other parks that struggle. So yeah, I'm with you, Eric. And also Libby, that second game against the Cubs, he had just faced the Cubs. So they were familiar with him and he still held his own.
Yeah, for sure. And so Gray, and I know you're not saying that Gray is mid. You're saying he's a guy that's a good pitcher that's turned into a great pitcher at Busch, is what I think you're saying. Yeah, at home in particular. So he's been everything you'd want in an ace at home in particular. And just the Braves, just like to highlight what they've been through, just getting decimated by injuries. You got Sale and Schwellenbach on the 60-day IL. Don't forget about Reynaldo Lopez. I know I haven't forgotten about him because I drafted him in fantasy after he had a 1.99 ERA last season. He made 1 start this year and then he got hurt. He's out for the year. They also have that young kid, AJ Smith-Shawver, who was looking really good. Now he's out for the year. Also, Spencer Strider pitched in the game here on Thursday, so the Cardinals avoid him this weekend. I just really think the Redbirds got to take advantage of this team and win this series. And I think they're going to do it. I think you bet on the Cardinals Friday and Sunday. You might have to lay -1 or -1.5 on Sunday with Gray, depending on who the Braves have on the mound. Saturday with Fetty, I think you just take the over on his earned runs prop or the over on the Braves team total and call it a day. Maybe just take over for the full game, depending on who's pitching. But at this point, I mean, Fetty's earned run total is probably going to be 2.5 with some juice to the over. I mean, he didn't even make it out of the second inning at Wrigley on Sunday night, and he still gave up 3 runs. So I think that is one of the plays of the weekend you got to look at is over on his earned runs prop. I'm very curious where DraftKings will set that line. Any thoughts on that, Sean?
Yeah, if it's 4.5, you probably got to go over. I don't know what it'll be. What do you think?
Oh, for his earned runs prop?
Yeah,
I think the most it would be 3.5, and it probably has
3.5.
some juice to the under.
3.5. Play the over. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking 4.5 because the guy's been so bad. But yeah,
it's very rare
usually,
you can. It's very rare you see a 3.5 on a total for an earned runs prop. Also, be curious for the weather this weekend. It looks like there could be some rain in the area, so you got to be aware of that when you're betting. We just saw that the other day, Sean. We had a play on the Blue Jays against the White Sox, I think it was. It looked like a sure winner. Game got called in the 7th inning, and bets get voided. So got to be aware of and also you got to be careful taking overs on pitchers to give up earned runs or taking overs on pitcher strikeouts, because if a rain delay happens and they get yanked early, your bet's toast. So we'll talk more about over-unders later in our Chiefs segment, because I have some thoughts on season-long player props when it comes to over and unders. And I'll say this, though, be wary of Grant Holmes on Friday, because this dude's on a heater right now. His last 5 starts, Holmes has gone 29 innings. He's got 41 strikeouts and an ERA of 1.86. So only thing, though, I saw 4 of those starts came against losing teams.
yeah.
And he had 1 start with 15 strikeouts, but it was against the Rockies. So
Right.
I think it's possible we see a first 5 under on Friday, but I'm with you, Sean. I don't think you need to get cute on this. Cardinals money line Friday. I really like that.
Yeah. Last week we talked about edges, and to me, this is going to be a large play for me. Probably 5 or 6 unit play. The long flight, the team that's dead in the water, everything just is right here for me. This for a large play. I just don't see the Braves getting up before the All-Star break after a long flight and beating us Friday. I just don't. I think Libby comes out. He establishes the game. He's got, he keeps us in the lead. I just think for sure the Braves don't come out on fire Friday. I just don't, after a long flight from Sacramento back here, and in 3 days the All-Star break's coming. I just think these guys are on cruise control. They're 11 games under 500. This to me, I love this bet. I love it.
So this sounds like it's a show unanimous play. So Tito, you're totally on board with this as well tomorrow. Do you have any hesitation about Cardinals money line on Friday?
No hesitation whatsoever. Looking at some of the career stats for my best bet, I was looking at a few different stats. Obviously, the better props are not out there, but I know that Donovan has a good career numbers against. Who's the pitcher tomorrow? I didn't even forget. Holmes.
Yeah.
I think he's 3. It's only 4 at bats, but he's 3 out of 4 with 2 doubles and 2 singles. So, good guy to get us started tomorrow night and get us on the board early. So definitely like that. And maybe the Cardinals are thinking Saturday gets rained out, and they're just thinking, oh, we'll put Fetty in there, and we have them all cooked. I don't know. We'll see. But
you talking about an old Tony La Russa move where he brought out who was the reliever he brought?
Miguel Batista. I was at that game. Dude is a freaking legendary move. God, I love Tony La Russa.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're thinking something like that. And also, kudos to Ollie and now I understand why they're doing that. They're not pushing Sonny Gray. I mean, obviously, Sonny Gray's probably got some sort of bonus for the number of wins he has for this upcoming year. And so maybe they're not pushing him back because he's a better pitcher at home. So you get him against some weak competition here this last week before the All-Star break. So get him a couple wins, get his mojo up. And then at the end of the year, maybe he cashes a $1 million bonus or something like that. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe he's talking to Sonny Gray about that. I don't know.
One
Maybe
more
they're
point.
trying to deal him. Maybe they're trying to deal him, get his numbers
no.
good.
No, he ain't going nowhere. He's not waiving that no trade clause. I got no problem with Sonny Gray, man. I love this dude. I hope he stays here as long as he wants. One more point in our favor for the Friday game. It is currently 10:50 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. The Braves are in extra innings right now with the A's in Sacramento. So they got a bullpen that's going to be cooked as well with their high leverage arms pitching tonight. I see Iglesias has already pitched an inning tonight for them. So this Hernandez guy in their bullpen's got a 1.86 ERA. He's pitched tonight as well. So I think there's a lot of things pointing in the Cardinals' direction. On Friday, I will be betting this one as well with Mr. Sharp. So lots of good ways to get in on the action this weekend. And another way you can do it is with DraftKings Pick 6. Just download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today and cash in on your player prop knowledge. Just select 2 or more players from any sport and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. So for Friday, you got what I think is going to be a very low scoring game with Paul Skeens and the Pirates up against Joe Ryan and the Twins. I would be targeting their props and fading the hitters. We've been talking about the A's and their bandbox of a ballpark. I'm going to be doing the opposite from that game with Skeens and Ryan. I think we get a high scoring one on Friday with the Blue Jays at the Athletics. You got 2 starters I am not high on at all this year in Max Scherzer and Luis Severino. So I would be targeting that game as well for going after their hitters and then fading Scherzer and Severino. That's the kind of stuff you can do and kind of the fun you can have on DraftKings Pick 6. It's available in most states, including right here in Missouri, also California, Texas, Georgia, and more. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits, better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, guys, let's move on and talk St. Louis City SC, and the losing just continues. This run now goes back 17 games, and in this stretch, City has 12 losses, 4 draws, and just 1 win. Okay, and then you have the Portland Timbers coming to town on Sunday. In their last 17 games, they've only lost 3 times. They have 8 wins, 6 draws, and just those 3 losses. Timbers are in 4th place in the Western Conference. They already beat City 2-1 last month. And yet somehow St. Louis City SC is the favorite here. I don't understand it. City is plus 115 on the money line. Portland is a plus 190 underdog to win the game. And the draw set is plus 265. Your total is 3. So City being a favorite here. I don't get it. I have looked all day to see if Portland has injury issues that I do not know about off the top of my head. They had a very in-depth preview article on the official MLS website this afternoon because it's Sunday Night Soccer. This is their feature game of the week. There's no mention of injuries for Portland. Tito, I know Leuven's coming back for this game, it sounds like, but that's not enough where City should be a favorite. Like, that's not a line-moving type addition, right?
No. If you are watching this, pause the damn video, get in your car, and go over to Illinois if you're in Missouri, and ship 18 units on this play for Portland. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Pause it and go over there right now. You'll be counting the money on Monday morning. What a big woof.
I think this is another case of a bad line set by the books for MLS. And we have seen this a few times this season, and we have taken advantage of this. I know I have taken advantage of this successfully. I think every single time where it's been a bad line, I've ended up winning or at the very worst pushing. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with Tito's line of thought. I don't know about 18 units, but this is going to be a 3-unit game for me on DraftKings, which is about the highest I'll go on a single game. I'll go higher, more units on some futures, but for a single game, This is about as big as I'll go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 2 units on Portland draw no bet at plus 120. And I'm going to have 1 unit on Portland on the money line at plus 190. So what that means is if City can win the game, which is, again, something they've done one time in the last 17 games, if that happens and I lose 3 units, and I can live with that. If the game ends in a draw, I just lose 1 unit. No big deal. I would lose the 1 unit on the money line bet, and the 2 units on the draw no bet would be a push because that's what draw no bet means. If the game is a draw, there is no bet. But if Portland wins the game like I expect them to, and if City loses the game like they've done 12 times in their last 17, then I would profit 4.3 units on this 3-unit bet. This price is just so out of whack, in my opinion. I think it would be irresponsible to not bet Portland in this game. Like, seriously, Tito, tomorrow, my wife and daughter are out of town for one day. They're on a little camping trip tonight. I'm at home by myself tonight talking to you boys. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to watch Wimbledon. More on that coming up in my best bet, by the way. And then I'm going to drive over to DraftKings after that, and I'm going to put in this bet, and I hope the line doesn't move in time because this is just so wild to me to see another line like this, but I'm just going to keep on taking advantage of this. Shawn, are you tailing me here, or what are we going to do with this?
Yeah, you'll be getting a notification on the Action Network that Mr. Sharp just bet Portland. I put $100 on it to win 190. I'm gonna hit pause and listen to what you were saying while you were talking. I was putting my bet in because Tito told me. I'm only gonna play it for 1 unit, but to win 190 on 100 against this St. Louis club, well, I'm gonna take it 6 times out of 7. So. I don't understand. To me, this is something that I would consider an edge, right? We got a big edge here. You're my soccer guy. Tito knows this club. So we got to bet. The only thing here is we're all in lockstep about the Cardinals and City, so something bad's going to happen, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I
Tito,
don't know. I don't necessarily know if I know this club. I thought I was bullish on the club last week against Real Salt Lake. What a big wolf of a team name that is, and I have egg on my face from my analysis last week. Big wolf on that. I mean, they're the worst team in the MLS. City is now. I mean, statistically speaking, I think the Galaxy has taken them over now. If they haven't, the Galaxy's actually won a game recently, whereas City's only won. Like Eric said, they've only one game. They've won 1 game. That was that new manager bounce. This Critchley fella, he doesn't have this.
For that all year, baby.
Yeah, you were calling for it all year, and this team has no want-to. There's no chemistry. You have guys throwing fits on the pitch. You got guys whining, complaining about not getting the ball. I mean, there's no team chemistry, and they're mailing it in. I think on Sunday they're going to play a bunch of young players. Sounds like Leuven's going to start. Doesn't sound like he's going to play the entire game. And they're just going to play a bunch of young. And now I'm looking at the transfer portal, or not even the portal, whatever you call it, I don't even know what you call it in the pitch anymore. This Falu Fall. This guy's like 23 years old. They're going to give him $40 million to come to City. $40 million. You don't need to spend. And this guy's a center midfielder that doesn't have any scoring prowess whatsoever. I mean, this guy. This is the exact definition of not understanding the game of soccer when you're playing in the MLS and playing for a team in St. Louis. I mean, this is ridiculous. You got to be out there getting goal scorers. You got to be out there getting playmakers. And instead, we're going to spend a shit ton of money on a guy that plays center mid. Big woof.
Tito, let me ask you this. I know you're a big diehard fan. You got season tickets. Do you want to see another coaching change this offseason?
Well, no, they're going to have another coaching change. This guy's a caretaker manager. He's not even called the interim manager. He's the caretaking manager because when they hire an actual full-blown coach, he's going to go back down to City 2. And City 2 is actually playing pretty well. So, this guy is not,
so there's going to be 3 head coaches within a year?
Yeah. 3
How
head
do you
coaches.
feel about that as a fan? How do you feel about that?
It is what it is, right? I mean, you don't know what you don't know until it's gone. And obviously, Bradley Carnell was It was a fan favorite the first year, and there was a lot of things left to be desired the second year, and they were leaking goals left and right. So they dumped him. But they have egg on their face with this Melberg fella, and Lutz doesn't have it. He does not, and Diego doesn't have it either. So both of those guys need to be held accountable, and they need to get in some new blood because this is not working. And I have not seen it so quickly turn as much as I've seen it turn. I can't sell my season tickets anymore. I can't sell them. Earlier in the year, you could sell them for a profit. You can't do it anymore. People are trying to give them away. People aren't taking them. It's a big concern.
Honeymoon is over for sure. I think you're off on that 40 million. I think it's just 4 million. I just looked up the rumor online, and it is a rumor. It looks like from a reputable, at least like a St. Louis City fan account. It says City's reportedly made a 4 million bid for this guy from
that's a little bit better, but still $4 million. I mean, yeah, that's a lot better, but I thought I saw 40. My bad. My apologies, fans.
I think we ought to stop talking about this loser team and go to a team that is built for winning, baby.
You're right. That is where I'm headed. But yeah, let's get this bet in. I'm telling you, nothing is a sure thing. Nothing is free money. As much as we say, they still got to go out and play the games. But like I said, I think we're going to see this. We've seen it before. This line's going to flip by game time, where it's either going to be very close to a pick, or Portland might even be a favorite. So, I'm looking forward to making my drive to DraftKings on Friday. All right, guys.
Put mine in.
I know. I just saw it. Let's talk some NFL. And again, guys, Domesticated Gamblers is going to be your home for football betting talk all season long here on STL Sports Central, as Shawn is fist pumping. We have different topics planned out to talk football every single week up until the season starts. We got the NFL camps opening up this coming week. So we are kicking things off by talking some Kansas City Chiefs, because we know there are plenty of Chiefs fans in the area, and there's tons of interest in this team nationwide. So what we're going to do is go through some of the futures bets available for the Chiefs that you can bet right now on DraftKings. And I know I said this at the top of the show, but again, if you're looking for a homer perspective on the Chiefs, this is not the show for you. Yeah. See you later. So yeah, Shawn's a Packers guy. I respect what the Chiefs have accomplished, but there's no way I'm hopping on board with this team after Clark Hunt was instrumental in the Rams moving out of St. Louis, and Tito, just on a different level with how he feels about the Chiefs. You're going to hear plenty about that on the show here tonight and all season long. So Shawn and I are the gamblers on the show. We're going to look at this objectively, try to win you some money. This is not a fanboy type of thing. We're looking at this objectively. Mr. Sharp is an NFL sharp. I've seen him with my own eyes. This is no joke. He's not a fraud. He crushes the NFL. And Tito, he's been hotter than any of us on best bets. And I tip my cap to you, brother. You're crushing it on player props in particular. So we're going to be talking some player props for the Chiefs here. And then next week, we're going to be covering season-long player props that we like for QBs, running backs, and wide receivers across the NFL. So you're not going to want to miss that. Tito is locked in to the prop market. But let's get kick these things off with the Kansas City Chiefs. I was looking at the season win total was just a good place to start talking about a team. And the Chiefs win total is set at 11.5 with the over set at plus 100. So the under 11.5 is juiced here at minus 120. So Shawn, just get us started with your overall thoughts on the Chiefs and where do you lean with the win total?
I lean over. This is a Chiefs team that made it to the Super Bowl last year with a lot of issues on their offensive line and a lot of issues at wide receiver. They were banged up, and they still made it to the Super Bowl. Love them or hate them, Andy Reid's system is built for Patrick Mahomes, and on their bad days, they can score 24 points. When I'm looking at this thing and I looked ahead at their schedule, I like the over here a lot. I just think you're going to get a healthy Patrick Mahomes with a lot of weapons. They brought in Elijah Mitchell. So the running game, they don't have to lean on Pacheco as much, but he'll be healthy. He'll be another year removed from that injury. And then the offensive line. They went and they bolstered up the offensive line. I know they drafted a kid. They signed a left tackle from – who'd they get him from? I think San Francisco. Yeah, Jalen Moore. So, man, when you look at their line, if they're improved, their defense is always going to be good. It's hard to play in Arrowhead. The crowd, everybody knows that. And it's Patrick Mahomes, right? Yeah, the four pillars with
Spagnuolo.
Spags is a hell of a defensive coordinator. He just is. I don't know how many rings has this guy won. 6. It's incredible. So for me, Eric, when we're looking at the over, I like it a lot. I know it's a
Wow.
high number at 11.5, but here, let me just run through a quick, little schedule here. The Giants, that's an easy win, right? At Jacksonville, easy win. You got Vegas twice. That's probably 2 easy wins. You got Dallas. You got Indy. You got Houston. I think they're going to be on the downswing. You got Tennessee. And if they split in their division, I mean, we're already at 12 games. I see it them getting that home pretty easy especially with the offensive upgrades that's coming.
You were only at 8 when you stopped. You're only at 8 wins when you stopped naming teams. So if they split with the division, that
I'm
gets
saying
them to 10.
they're sweeping Vegas.
Yeah, I included that.
Yeah, you got the Chargers.
I don't know. I think the schedule's more on a negative for them. Like they could definitely go over, but I'll make my case in a second. I want Tito to go because 11.5 wins for the Chiefs. Do you agree with Mr. Sharp on this, or where are you? I really don't know. Maybe 11.5's a low number when you first look at it. I think so. So what do you got, Tito?
Yeah, no, I begrudgingly I'm gonna think over too because the absolute NFL wants this fraud Mahomes to win. I'm looking at player props for how many times he's gonna be rolling his damn ankle and be limping around like the damn fraud he is, and then everyone be singing, "Oh, what a tough player he is!" Oh, blah blah blah. So begrudgingly, I'm gonna think over on the win total. I think the refs have the refs in their pocket. I think the NFL wants to see more Taylor Swift in the damn box. I think they want to see Patrick Mahomes do one of these. Oh, bring in the play, Andy Reid, like big woof. So I'm gonna go over the win total.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt your feelings, Tito. Mahomes is in the best shape of his life. When you see some pictures of this guy, he has gotten in phenomenal shape this season. MVP season come from Mahomes. He's got so many weapons again. I'm bullish on the Chiefs.
I thought he had the dad bod rocking this offseason.
Yeah, but you should check him out. Check him out.
All right.
You'll
all right.
see.
He's getting it all tight. It's not a bet for me, but my initial lean was under, so I will make the case for it. Counting the playoffs last season, the Chiefs in 1-score games, their record was 12-0. Like, I know a lot of that is skill because they have players and coaches that know how to win games. But at some point, especially with what appears to be the shaky offensive line that Shawn, you referenced at the top of the show, and everything I read, that is the number one concern for Chiefs fans and Chiefs backers. I just think that record in close games has to regress a little bit. And so I just feel like Mahomes has been able to hide those flaws for the most part with the offensive line. They definitely got exposed in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. But I just don't think this team is going to just dominate and be the best team in the AFC again. But of course, that's baked into the odds already. So the books share my opinion. Like they won 15 games last year. So they didn't make this total 13.5. It's 11.5. So that's why this is not a bet for me. I don't think there's really value on betting the under at 11.5. So just a lean for me. But just like this division, the Chargers and Broncos are coming. Like they're both projected to be winning teams. They were winning teams last year. The Raiders should at least be better. Like they're projected for 7 wins after winning just 4 last season. And I think the schedule is tough. Like they play arguably the 3 best teams in the NFC from a year ago. They play Philly, Detroit, and Washington this season. They are all at home though for the Chiefs. And they also play the other 3 AFC division champs, Ravens, Bills, and Texans. Statistically, they have the 11th toughest schedule in the NFL based on last season's record. So I'm not saying the wheels are going to fall off because as long as you got Mahomes, you're a contender. But I do think at least for the regular season, they're going to be a step behind the Bills and the Ravens. So I could definitely see them finishing 11-6. Again, not strong enough to make it a bet because I just don't think there's value in the number. But my lean is under. So Shawn, give me your retort.
I'm glad you talked about the schedule and the teams that you think are going to be good, because that's definitely the public's opinion. I think Washington takes a step back, maybe a playoff team, but they're definitely going to take a step back. They overachieved last year. And also the Chargers. I'm tired of hearing about Herbert until this guy wins the division. He's a nobody, for real. He can throw the ball 75 yards. He can do these great things, but when the game gets tight, this guy chokes. He's been doing his whole NFL career. So I don't really believe in the Chargers yet. I do think Denver's going to be a good team, very good team, but I think Bo Nix will take a step back, a little sophomore slump. So I don't see it the same way. I just don't. I think the league adjusts to these teams. They're going to adjust to what, Washington. I think Daniel's going to struggle a little bit. Teams are going to, spy him up now. They know how to play him. So I see it a little bit differently. I think the Chiefs win this one pretty easily.
Tito, what do you think of?
I think their offensive line is going to be a lot better, and people are going to be surprised.
All right, I can buy that. Tito, what about my stat 12-0 in one-score games? Do you think that's Mahomes doing his thing, knows how to win, or do you think there's a luck factor there?
It's because the damn Zebras know how to play, know how to throw the damn flag exactly when he gets blown upon. Oh, it's a personal foul, big woof. That's exactly what happens. It happened over and over again last year. That's how they made it to the Super Bowl last year. It's because the referees, they had the referees in the pocket. They knew exactly when to throw the flags. They knew exactly when. Oh, Mahomes is going out of bounds, but he's not quite out of bounds. But let him go and take an extra 15 yards, and then you can knock him out of bounds. But we're going to call personal foul because we can't have this so-called toughest guy in the NFL get knocked to the ground. So big woof. I do like the fact that he's in the best shape of his life. He's not jacked up. I think that speaks to his durability. But he milks it. He milks it completely. That's the issue I have with Mahomes is the pompous arrogance that this guy possesses in the on the field. Every time he gets knocked to the ground, he's always crying. He's always getting up, limping around like he just got his leg broken. I mean, give me a fucking break. Seriously, you're the best quarterback in the NFL. You've been the best quarterback for the handful of years. I'm giving you your hosannas, but just don't start limping around. Don't start crying like a little baby when you get knocked to the ground. I mean, what an absolute fraud. I just can't stand him. I can't stand Kelsey. I can't stand Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid is a guy that wins the Super Bowl and doesn't have the decency to go to midfield and shake the other coach's hand. He's too busy hugging his assistants, hugging Clark Hunt, who's paying him millions of dollars because he was able to get the fucking Rams out of St. Louis. And then you got Travis Kelsey acting like he's some sort of St. Louis super fan with the damn Blues. And then he goes off and goes down to the Florida Panthers. He comes on to ESPN, talks about how he didn't want to play in St. Louis. I can go on and on, Chiefs Kingdom, okay? And I will. The entire season, it's nothing but shit talking from Tito on your asses. I'll tell you that right now.
And I gotta say, this is legitimate. This is how you feel, Tito. This is not a hot take, faux hot take. Tito legitimately has this hatred for the Chiefs, and I love it.
The NFL did what they wanted to you. You hate watch the Chiefs, and they're winning. They're winning. You hate them so much that you watch them. It's what happened to me with Tom Brady. And after a few years of that, I finally woke up and said, what the fuck am I doing? I can't look at this objectively and hate bet. So in a betting show, if you hate somebody, don't bet against him because you want him to lose so bad. You're going to lose all your money because he is going to win because he is the best quarterback in football. So I love Tito's passion, but don't bet against him, Tito, because you're going to be losing your money, boy.
Well, and that's why I honestly think that the over on 11.5 wins is a smart play. I mean, you got the best quarterback in the league. You got one of the best coaches in the league. As much as I hate those assholes, I think they're going to win. I do think that the AFC West is going to be better. I do like Jim Harbaugh. All this guy does when he's in the NFL, all he does is win. So, I think they're going to be improved. Sean Payne with the Broncos is going to be improved. I don't even know who the hell is the coach of the damn Raiders. I don't even know.
Pete Carroll.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Lottie freaking up.
They They got Genty at running back. I mean, and that, in Carroll's offensive scheme, Genty's going to get the ball a lot. I agree, Eric. And they got Geno Smith at quarterback. He's familiar. So there won't be too many bumps in the road with that offense. They'll get rolling pretty quick. But it's still the Raiders, and the Chiefs own this division. And you guys know how banged up they were at wide receiver. You know how banged up they were at offensive tackle. The whole line actually guard, and now they're healthy. I just don't see. You had a bad team make it to the Super Bowl last year. Now you're going to have the full team that they wanted last year. So I like the Chiefs a lot.
It's a good segue to the division talk because I think this is the market that is extremely attractive. I was stunned to see this. You got the Chiefs that have won the AFC West 9 years in a row, and you only got to lay minus 120 for them to win the division. So the odds to win the AFC West, Chiefs minus 120 favorite. The Broncos are plus 300. They're bunched up with the Chargers. Chargers are at plus 310. Raiders way back at plus 2,000. I am willing to stick my neck out and bet on this for the Chiefs to win the division. Like, if someone else can knock them off and end that streak, like, I'll tip my cap and lose a unit and move on. But I have one of the best quarterbacks who's ever played the game. I'll take a shot on that to beat out 3 other teams at minus 120. So that's definitely going to be a play for me. I'm just trying to figure out how many units I should put on this, and I wanted to hear your guys' opinion because didn't that price seem super low when we took a look at that?
I would go 1 unit. That way you're not so pissed off if they don't win because you already hate the Chiefs. So that could be a whole thing.
Yeah, I think the only way that the Chiefs don't win the division is if, God forbid, Mahomes gets hurt, hurt, and then misses some games. I think that's the only way that they don't win the division. This is seriously, this is like Patriots. Like, this is Tom Brady Patriots level where it's going to be, another 10 years where they're going to dominate and win the division.
So Shawn, is that an automatic play for you?
Yeah, I'm going to play him at the division as well. I'm with you. I think Mahomes can wake up with a bad offensive line and be hungover and still come out and win the division. He's that good. And Andy Reid's system, everything's motionless. Everyone's looking left, but they're going right. It's a lot of confusion in that offense, and that helps Mahomes a lot. That really helped their offensive line, until they got to the Super Bowl and the Eagles just, showed what kind of frauds they were, Tito, to, be realistic. The division, I could see Denver, but I personally don't love them. I think Bo Nix takes a little bit of step backwards. He was a scrambling quarterback. And you see this year one, a lot of rookie quarterbacks, they can scramble. Defenses don't know how to shadow them. Defenses will figure out Bo Nix a little bit, and he's going to have to take some more checkdowns his second year, just like Daniels will. And that's a struggle for players. You watched Jordan Love struggle with it last year. He wanted to take his shots, but the defense learns what you're good at, and they take that away, and you just have to settle for what the defense is giving you. And it's tough for a year 2 player, especially when they've had great success their first year. So I'm not sold on, Sean Payton, great coach. Denver's going to have a great defense. All those things are going to be the same as last year. But I just think Bo Nix takes a step back and they don't win the division. And I'm not sold on Justin Herbert. Until he shows me, I can't put my money on him. I'm with you, Eric. I'm probably going to play this for 1 or 2 units.
All right, so unanimous play on the show. Chiefs winning the division. Yeah, I thought that one stuck out like a sore thumb as the best play we're going to talk about here with the Chiefs. Don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but want to see if you guys saw any value on this or wanted to throw a dart on it. Not necessarily a lottery ticket, but just higher odds. The odds to be the number 1 seed in the AFC like they were last year. The Chiefs are the 3rd favorite. So the books are not buying the Chiefs being this dominant team either, much like I was. The Bills are the favorite at plus 195 to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Baltimore's up next at plus 260. Chiefs are way back at plus 475. Shawn, what do you think on that?
Buffalo's schedule, that's probably why. They got a pretty easy schedule for Buffalo. I don't like Pittsburgh either. That division's going to be tough. So it would be Kansas City for me, or it would be Buffalo. But I don't really love any of these. I don't like these long prop plays here to be number 1 seed. Too many variables can happen through the season, and there's not enough good odds with any of these teams. Like Tito said, what if Mahomes gets hurt at plus 475? I don't think the value's there. definitely not with Buffalo at plus 195.
Yeah.
And Baltimore plus 260. They might not even win their division. So you got a hungry Joe Burrow, and you got a Pittsburgh team that's they're trying to win right now. So yeah, I don't like any of these plays here.
What do you think, Tito?
Yeah, likewise. I don't necessarily once Mr. Sharp starts talking all those analysis, I'm like, oh wait a minute. I was kind of thinking about Buffalo or Baltimore, but no, there's too many variables and too much stuff could happen. And I think he makes some good points with that, especially with the AFC North. So I would stay away.
Yeah, I'm with you. No play for me. I do find it interesting the market to be the number one seed in the AFC. There's a little bit of separation with the Bills and the Ravens, and then the Chiefs are a little bit further back. But the odds to win the AFC when it's playoff time, it's almost a dead heat. The Bills and Ravens co-favorites at plus 350, and the Chiefs are right behind at plus 400. So the book's definitely giving the Chiefs respect for their playoff experience. Odds to win the Super Bowl. We actually have 3 co-favorites: Eagles, Bills, Ravens, all at plus 650, and the Chiefs are next up at plus 800. I'm not saying I don't need your Super Bowl predictions now and here on July 10th, but plus 800, I get the sense we're not going to play that either. Or do you find a little value at plus 800 there, Shawn?
A little bit more value to win
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. Because when I'm looking at this in the AFC, we all know Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs, right? He can't throw the ball. Defenses spy this guy up. And for some reason, Baltimore forgets how to run the ball. We watch it. Every year he goes into Arrowhead, and they throw the ball all around. It's crazy. I have no idea what they're doing. Lamar's too worried about everyone chirping him that he can't throw the ball in playoffs to win. And it's the truth, Lamar. Just run the fucking ball and you'd win. But yeah, there's a little bit of if you like the Chiefs here, I would play this at plus 800 because it's pretty good odds in the playoffs. Allen can't beat him, Lamar can't beat him, so you're betting on Mahomes in the playoffs. It's plus 800. I'd like to see it at 1,200 for me personally, but if you're a Chiefs fan, plus 800, that's a pretty good price.
I know you're not betting the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, are you, Tito?
Hell no. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. No way. Leave it.
Yeah, leave it for me as well.
That will not be in pocket for Tito, folks.
Well, let's talk about things that might be in pocket for you, Tito, and that's in player props because you've been crushing it on these props lately. Here's where I stand on season-long player props. If you are going to bet an over, you better love the over. I said the same thing when we were talking about baseball season-long player props because we see this in sports all the time, especially in the NFL. All it takes is one injury. They miss a few games, and your over is toast. So very rarely will I bet an over on a season-long player prop in any sport, especially the NFL. I just really think that's the sharp way to go. And just like in general, if you're someone that's almost always, tending to bet favorites and overs in anything in sports gambling, I think you're going to have a real hard time being profitable. Like, right, Shawn? Isn't that like that's their default opinion? You think of the better team or you think of a exciting, a lot of points scored in a game. But if you're just betting favorites and overs, you're going to lose, right?
Yeah, funny story. One time I was out golfing, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago with a group of guys, and one guy, I won't mention his name. I said, well, what kind of bet you got today? And he said, oh, I got the over in every game. It was during the NFL season. I said, what do you mean? He showed me. He had the over in every game. He's like, well, I like high-scoring games. It's fun. Just what you said, and he's not a long-term winner. And you can get hot from week to week, and you might cash 70% that week, but then the next week you're going to get beat up pretty bad. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to do that, Eric. I'm with you on the season props. Them season-long props, man, you got to love it.
Yeah, you really got. I did find interesting. We're on the over 19.5 home runs for Wilson Contreras. He had number 12 tonight.
Yes,
so he is on pace to go over. I absolutely loved that play, but he got hit. I remember saying on the show when we gave that pitch, all it takes is him getting hit on the hand, and he's out for several weeks, and that bet is toast. He got hit on the hand, a week or two ago, and thank God he wasn't hurt too terribly. So every game, I just worry about that happening. But keep going, Wilson Contreras. Let's cash that. It's a 3-unit play for me, by the way. Over 19.5 home runs. He's now on pace for 20.5. So tracking that one for sure.
Second half, it gets a little hotter.
Yeah.
And then also in September, a lot of bad teams bring up their rookie pitchers. You see a lot more home runs in September as well because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, all right, Tito, I'm going to get started with you for Patrick Mahomes, his season-long props, passing yards. The total set by DraftKings is 4,050.5 passing yards. His passing touchdowns is 27.5. Do you like either of those overs or unders, or is it a pass for you?
Wait a minute. We talked about this. You had over-unders on the number of times he was going to limp during the season at 1,000. We talked about this pre-show, and you didn't even mention it. No, joking aside, I like the overs on the touchdowns. Passing yards, I'm going to stay away from, but I think I like the over on the touchdowns.
What makes you say that? I'm curious. Just the fact he does seem like he's kind of bulletproof from like missing games. Like no matter what happens, he finds a way to get out there. Is that part of your thinking there, or what was your thought process?
That's part of it, as well as the fact that they've got more weapons in wide receiver that he can get the ball to. That's, and Andy Reid likes to sling it around, especially down in the red zone. So I like that's personally why I like it. So
Shawn, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you look at his stats last year, old Aaron Rodgers had more passing touchdowns than Mahomes did last year, beat him by 1, but he got 26 last year, and he had 3,928 yards. So I think with a better offensive line, he's getting his offensive wide receivers back. You got Rice will be back, Hollywood Brown will be back. Kelsey's talked a lot this offseason, and he's in the best shape of his life. We'll see. He's definitely an aging player. But he's a tight end, and they know each other. And we watched Brady and Gronk for years, so that connection will be there. So I think for sure, if Mahomes stays healthy, I like the over 4,000 passing, 4,050 a lot. I don't know about his passing touchdowns. The Chiefs do like to run a lot of gadget plays at the goal line. They have the shovel pass to Pacheco or to Kelsey. And he also scrambles and runs, so that takes away a few of the passing touchdowns. But I'm expecting a big year from Mahomes, so I would say yes on both. And the passing yards is in pocket for me.
Well, I was just going to ask you, are either of these in pocket for you? I know you said you like him if he stays healthy, but for me, it's got to be I have a very strict I have strict restriction. I'm not saying this right. It's 11:30 at night. I have high standards when it comes to betting it over, and this does not meet the standard for me to bet the over. Although I would lean over, but you're saying the passing yards over is in pocket.
I mean, he got 3,928 last year
without
Rice, without Brown. Right. So I think he gets there, and I think Mahomes is pissed off, right? He wants an MVP. I think he was going to show out this year a little bit.
Yeah. I did find it interesting. There's no rushing props available on DraftKings for Chiefs players. Like, is there something going on with Pacheco that I don't know about?
Well, they finally re-signed him, and they brought in Elijah Mitchell. He's a big home run guy. We've all heard about him in fantasy with the Niners. So I know there was a little bit of dispute between Pacheco and the Chiefs front office there for a while, and then they got that cleared up, and he's coming back. So I don't know if that had something to do with it or not.
Yeah, and maybe a good posted later, and as we get into training camp. Let's look at these receiving yard props to wrap up our Chiefs talk. And we got 4 players here where they have numbers posted on DraftKings. Rashee Rice, 925.5 receiving yards. Xavier Worthy, 825.5 receiving yards. Kelsey's yardage total is at 675.5, which was very interesting. And Hollywood Brown at 525.5. So, Tito, don't necessarily need an opinion on all of them if you don't have a take on any of them, but do any of those overs or unders stick out to you?
Yeah, I don't know about the Xavier Worthy 825.5. I'm not sure if I would. I think I would tend to maybe take a small little play on the under on that one.
Yeah,
no reason. Just a hot take from Tito. Just out of the top of my head, just thinking I don't know about Xavier Worthy.
Well, I think too, like a lot of times you see a sophomore slump. I feel like in the NFL. And it's usually the third year you see a lot of these guys take leaps. I mean, some of the guys are so good, they come blasting out of the gates as rookies, and they're incredible. But I think Worthy could potentially be a second half bust candidate. Shawn, what do you think on that?
I normally would if he was the X, he was the number 1 receiver. but he's not, right? So we're going to get Rice back. We're going to have Hollywood Brown back. So he can be in the slot. He can be the gadget player. He can come in motion. So I don't see it because of that. But for me, when I look at all this, it's I don't know if I'll say this right, but the sum is greater than the individual. So, like, I don't like any of these players' props per se. I just like Mahomes to spread the ball around to all of his weapons to get over the yardage. I wouldn't play any of them because of their injury risk.
Yep.
And the numbers seem to be about right where they are, except Kelsey. He was over that last year by quite a bit, but he's an aging player. So I would say no on all the props.
I went into this exercise thinking I'm going to bet the under on Kelsey. And then I saw the number. I'm like, oh, God, I can't. That's way low. Like,
Yeah.
I think he finished in the 800s last year. So, yeah, 675.5 yards. I would lean under, but it's not enough for me to bet it. He played 16 games last season. The only game he missed was that last week of the season in Denver when they just sat everybody because they had everything wrapped up. It was 823 yards Kelsey finished with. But this dude's 35 years old. He's going to turn 36 in October. He's never missed more than 2 games in a season. It's just like at some point he's going to hit the wall. And I just feel like, again, this is more, I think it's kind of narrative-y, which is why I'm not going to bet it. I think a lot of times you see this, the season after a Super Bowl loss is oftentimes you'll see some weird things happen to a team and things don't break their way. I could see this being the year it happens for Kelsey where he gets injured and misses time and then he goes under this number. So definitely want to see how the preseason shakes out. We have plenty of time to put these plays in, but that's the one that stood out to me was the under on Kelsey initially, but I just feel like that number is not good enough to bet it at this point.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to force plays if you don't think the value's there. But yeah, but what do you think about my thought process there with Kelsey?
Yeah, I totally agree. And then looking at it, Tito, you might be right on the under on Xavier Worthy. He got a bulk of the receptions last year with the injuries, and he only got to 638. So you got to figure, they can't feed all these mouths, right? There's no way. So Rice, Worthy, or Brown. Well, Brown's pretty low at 525, but I wouldn't see Rice, Worthy, and Kelsey all hitting their overs. Someone's going to be out on this. And Rice was, he was the number one guy before he got injured. So, I could maybe see that, Tito, maybe.
Ooh, Tito, I like that. Player prop sharp. You got anything else, Tito, you got to get off your chest about the Chiefs before we move on to best bets? Because I think we covered them pretty damn good for show number 1, talking football here.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm good to go. Every week you're going to be hearing these fucking hot takes from Tito holding you accountable, Mahomes. So come at me, Chiefs Kingdom. If you have an opinion about Tito, I'm not afraid of any of you frauds.
Well, that's our NFL talk for this week. Next week, again, season-long player props that we like for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers. Also, DraftKings is a market for stat leaders on DraftKings where you can bet who's going to have the most passing yards in the league, most receiving touchdowns, stuff like that. So more NFL talk coming every single week leading up to the season here on Domesticated Gamblers. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
One thing about the Chiefs, last year they allowed 19.2 points per game. I'd expect that to go up a little bit. They did lose a couple cornerbacks. So that's something I'd look. They like to play a lot of press coverage and zero blitz, Spags. We talk about the 4 pillars. And third down, he really likes to go zero cover blitz. And so we'll see if their cornerbacks can cover. They do get away with a lot of PI, so that is something that kind of happens. I'm with you, Tito. They get the flags. But I expect their defense to struggle a little more, which is why I also like Mahomes on the passing yards.
Yeah, makes sense.
One of the 4 pillars is the zero blitz. Is that the team force mentality?
We're going to be a good teammate.
Was it faith, character?
Core values.
Core values.
What's core values?
Team first. I don't know. Some bullshit. Who cares?
My God.
If there's any coach out there that was supposed to stay in his role as a defensive coordinator rather than a head coach, I think Steve Spagnuolo
and March.
Oh yeah,
offensive coordinator.
Yeah, at least March got to a Super Bowl. My God, it's Steve Spagnuolo.
I like that.
Well, hey, let's get to our best bets, and they are brought to you by Pretzel Boys. And again, this is a chance for you, the viewer, to get involved. All you got to do is leave a comment on this video with your best bet. Could be from any game this weekend. If you're the first person to comment and your bet hits, you win a $20 gift card from Pretzel Boys. If the first person loses their bet, then the second commenter will win the gift card if they hit their best bet, etc., etc. So again, drop us a comment on this video right now with your best bet for the weekend for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. For our best bets, we went 2-1 last week. Shawn had a losing baseball play. Hey, it's going to happen. I just said, forget baseball. Let's get back to soccer. And I cash easy. PSG beating Bayern Munich in the Club World Cup. But the big story just continues to be Mr. Tito Ulrich. He had the over in the Tigers Nationals game last Friday. That cashed in the 4th inning, Tito.
Yep.
So you were just on fire. It's now 4 straight best bet winners, all at plus money. So Tito, you have earned the honors once again. Where are you going for your best bet this week?
Yeah, let's talk about throwing hosannas at Tito's feet, tailing Tito Daddy. I don't want to talk about Mr. Sharp trying to chirp me, talking about, oh, eventually you'll lose. Who says I'm going to lose ever? I mean, Tito is on fire right now. We're going back to the hitter market, the batter prop market. I got a big time one for you. I like this guy a lot. He's a guy that plays in the Central Division against the Redbirds. He's a Milwaukee Brewer fella. His name is Caleb Durbin. Okay, this guy has been on fire the last 2 weeks. Never mind that he went 0 for 6 against Dodger pitching earlier this week, but over the last several weeks, he's been on fire. He's got an OPS of 880. Okay, and he's going up against Mitchell Parker and Natitude tomorrow night. And Mitchell Parker and Natitude, they don't pitch well on the road, and that's exactly where tomorrow night's game is. It's at Miller Park is what I'm going to call it. That brought of a name of a park. I don't even know what it's called. Big woof to that name, Milwaukee. Rename it Miller Park again. I digress. So I'm going to go with Caleb Durbin over 1.5 total bases. That's a plus 140 bet, okay? So we're going to take that. Mitchell Parker, he's got a 5.98 ERA on the road this season, whereas Caleb Durbin, he's got an 880 OPS. So we're going to go with Caleb Durbin with an over 1.5 total bases tomorrow night, Daddy.
I like that. Parker's kind of a scrub. Durbin, it goes back even further. The last month, he's hitting 338 with an 844 OPS. Tito, digging deep into the prop market. I think you found a good one there. I'm up next. I've absolutely been on fire these last 2 weeks in sports gambling. I've been crushing the Club World Cup in soccer and Wimbledon in tennis. I am up over 19 units in those 2 tournaments. And it's all tracked and transparent on the Action Network. That's where I post all my plays for all sports. You can follow me on the Action Network app. My username is Sontag. Shawn is on there as well. He is in the green on there too with plenty of room to spare. His username is Mr. Sharp 4499. So for my best bet, I got to go to one of these 2 things going on right now, and I'm going to Wimbledon. It is possible my best bet is already dead by the time the show gets posted on Friday. But again, we are recording this on Thursday night. But I am taking Carlos Alcaraz to win Wimbledon. This dude is an absolute beast. Go ahead, Tito, and shake your head. He had a little bit of trouble early in the tournament. He had to go to 5 sets in the first round, but he's turning around. He's peaking at the right time. Alcaraz is a big favorite against Taylor Fritz in the semis on Friday. And if you win, Taylor Fritz, he's an American, ranked 5th in the world right now, Tito. And if Alcaraz wins, he gets the winner of Djokovic and Sinner on Sunday. I love the Joker. I freaking love that man with how much of a beast he is. He's the greatest player of all time. But he's in the sunset of his career. Alcaraz has beaten him in the final the last 2 years at Wimbledon. And Sinner, he's fighting through some kind of arm injury right now. Alcaraz beat him at the French Open final earlier this year. So my best bet, Carlos Alcaraz to win Wimbledon, currently minus 125 on DraftKings. If you don't like the price on Sunday, if it goes up depending on who he's playing, if you think it's too high, just parlay Alcaraz with like another game across the sports world that's like essentially that coupon that I like to talk about. But I bet Alcaraz before the tournament at plus 120 to win Wimbledon. If you followed me on Action Network, you would know that already. But I'm sticking with him here Carlos Alcaraz to win Wimbledon, -125 on DraftKings for my best bet. Tito, you disagree with that? You just giving me shit because whatever. You don't know shit about this, do you? You're just like poo-pooing it for no reason. Yeah, that's what
I don't know shit about tennis anymore. I remember Andy Agassi, Daddy, and Pete Sampras, and Boris Becker, and all those guys. So that's what those are the heydays of me watching tennis. This nonsense about the Joker being the best. He's maybe won the most tournaments ever, but he ain't the best ever. I'll tell you that right now. The team, the guys that he faces is in no comparison to what Sampras had to deal with what Agassi had to deal with, and what Ivan Indel had to play. So
Nadal,
none of that.
Come on.
Arguably, Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic are the three best players of all time, and they were all in the same era. And Djokovic was the best. Yeah. I will end my case. I'll give you more numbers off the air if you need it. Sean.
I know recently we bet on the Joker. It was about a year ago, and we were all over that and nailed it. I think that was me and you, Eric. It might have just been me. I don't know.
I've bet on him so many times.
Eric has been a Joker lover for the last 18 years, so big whoop to that.
I lost a couple years ago. I don't think Djokovic had lost on center court in like over a decade, and Alcaraz got him in the final in like a 5-set classic. I lost that one, so I'm on Team Alcaraz. This dude's a stud. He's super fun to watch. Highly recommend you guys check him out this weekend. Sean, what do you got for your best bet this week?
Yeah, speaking of that Action Network, Tito, I got it here. It's all transparent, like Eric says. Last 7 days, Mr. Sharp's up $700. So that's what Mr. Sharp does. I put the real money I bet in there so people can kind of see what money I'm actually up. And that's personal. If you make $100 a day, you're doing all right in the gambling world. So we'll take 2,800 every month. But check us out, like Eric said. We also have a new follower, the Danimal. He's been on there. He's been, watching the show, gambling, learning some things. So our show's definitely making an impact, even though we might not think it every day. We're starting to finally, brick by brick, here we come. Watch out for the Domesticated Gamblers. I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals to win the series as my best bet against the Atlanta Braves. I think the Cardinals win 2 out of 3. They force Mozeliak to go get a couple pitchers after the All-Star break.
All right. I like that. -135 for the Cardinals to win the series. Let's finish up with our home team. Tito thinks this team is this Redbird Ball Club's going down this weekend, or you just don't like him using the Cardinals as his best bet?
Yeah, I don't like that. I also don't like minus plays, okay? Big whoop to that. Those are supposed to be our best bets. Let's come up with some plus many plays so that guys can make some money off of our best bets, Jack.
If you watch me on Action Network, sometimes I do play plus money plays. I just played the Milwaukee Brewers to beat the Dodgers 2 nights ago, and that cashed easily. So come on Action Network and check us out. If you need our names again, comment under the video. Me and Eric will share our names, and you can see every bet we're playing because we're only on here once a week, and there's so many different bets, so many different edges, and we also leave little notes about our, why we like a certain game, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, don't bark at me, Mr. Dr. Prop over here thinks he's got something going. I almost took against your prop just to go heads up against you, but I'm sure it's minus money. A lot more minus.
Yeah, it's Mr. Sharp 4499 is Sean's handle on Action. I am E Sontag, and you can check out my breakdowns for all the games the local teams play at stlsportscentral.com. We got a lot of riding every day for those Redbirds, but I love breaking down these teams. We just love talking gambling with you guys, and happy to do it every single day and every single week here on the show. Let's finish up with our home team plays of the week. These are our favorite plays in the games involving the local teams. I almost made this my best bet, but I wanted variety. I'm taking the Portland Timbers, draw no bet, +120 against City on Sunday. There's just no way City should be favored in this game. So that's my home team play of the week. Easy. Portland, draw no bet at +120. Again, this can be 3 units on this game. If you want more of my breakdown of it, check us out earlier in the show. So, Sean, you obviously like the Cardinals this weekend, but what do you got for your home team play of the week?
Yeah, I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to fade City. This was almost my best bet as well, but, I'm going to take the Cardinals to win the series. Tito, what do you got?
I'll tell you right now, I like Eric, you asked me last week if I like Mr. Prop as a nickname. Dr. Prop sounds phenomenal. So
That's
that
it.
might be the nickname, Daddy. So kudos to you, Mr. Sharp, for coming up with Tito's nickname, Dr. Prop. No, I'm not going with a minus play for STL Sports. I'm going with the Cardinals to win tomorrow night. Matthew Liberatore going to dominate tomorrow night against the Braves. So we're going to take the Cardinals. And what is it, minus 121 for home team player of the week? That's where I'm going with my home team player of the week, the Cardinals to win against the Braves tomorrow night, Jack.
It's a minus play. It's a minus play. I thought you said you're not giving out minus plays.
Not for my best bet.
Well, you're going to learn one day or another.
I'm going to learn, yeah. You're going to learn today, Daddy. You should be tailing Tito. I'm going to get on Action Network. It's going to be Dr. Prop, Daddy. And you're going to be tailing Tito. Everyone should be tailing Tito now. Just watch Domesticated Gamblers every week and tail Tito, and you'll be making it rain. I'll tell you that right now, Daddy. Woo!
Braves lost in extra innings. This thing's got it written all over it.
Man, I think they're kind of dead team walking right now. They just want to get to the All-Star break and get on their vacations, lay on the beach for a couple days. Like, yeah, this is ripe. The Cardinals got to win this series this weekend.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
boys.
That's why we're betting a best bet, brother. Getting back on the winning side. Here we come.
Yep, I'll be on it tomorrow with you as well. Fun show, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the STL Sports Central YouTube channel, and leave a comment here with your best bet for a chance to win a $20 gift card to Pretzel Boys. Also, reminder, email us anytime. Tito, you might hear from Chiefs Kingdom. I'd like to hear that.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it. I love it. Yeah, come at Tito, Daddy. There's my X handle down there. Come at Tito. Try to hold me accountable. Ain't gonna be nothing that's going to bother Tito, Jack.
The email address, domesticatedgamblers@gmail.com. And everyone out there, get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Again, I got an extra $800 in my pocket this year because I made the switch to James for my home and auto policy. So see what he can do for you. Click the link in the YouTube description to go to carltoninsurance.net or give him a call at 314-961-4800. For Shawn, for Tito, I am Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys, and we will see you next Friday.
Let's fucking cash.